Hello, my movie peeps. Thank you so much for clicking on episode Side Flick. My name is Chris. Oh, we got a banger today, y'all. News has been coming non-stop, and we have so much to talk about here. Some of the things we're going to be discussing is we got our first look of the new Planet of the Apes trilogy Disney is working on. We got a report of Red Hulk being introduced in the Thunderbolts, and Harrison Ford possibly playing him. Even the shocking news that a Disney Plus series is now becoming a feature-length movie instead of a show. That along with so much more, so leave your thoughts down below, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, so close to 500k, come on, help me out. But alright, the first thing I want to discuss here today is it looks like we're getting the third Now You See Me movie. Coming here from Deadline, it's being reported that Ruben Fisher is set to direct next Now You See Me pick for Lionsgate. Now, Ruben Fisher isn't someone who directed any of the previous Now You See Me movies. He's most notably known for directing the first Venom movie and Zombieland. When commenting on the project, he said exactly, "There are three things in this world I absolutely love: Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, and magic. To have the chance to work with these two talented actors as well as the rest of the incredible cast of the Now You See Me movies is a dream come true." And look, I had a really good time with that first Now You See Me movie. I thought they did a good job of establishing, are these guys real magicians? Are they not? Pulling off a heist movie, and then I don't even know what that ending was with Mark Ruffalo, but it was an enjoyable time. Then the second movie came around, and I just didn't have as much fun with it. The lines were really blurred between what was magic and what was just ridiculously impossible. With this third movie, they're suckering me in by saying it's going to be another heist movie. I just love heist films. Introducing the element of magic, of course, is fun, but I do hope it keeps that semi-realistic factor, because when you just get into too ridiculous territory and it starts to feel like false magic that isn't even possible, I'm like, what are we doing here? Now you see me? Psh, I'm not seeing you. What do you guys think about Now You See Me 3 with this director, and what could they possibly do with the story to entice you? Moving on to our next topic here, I swear to you guys, it's stories like this that make me feel I'm the main character, alright? All of you are side characters to my quest. This is 3C Films the movie, and everything is about me, because I was laying in bed literally 2 nights ago thinking to myself, man, I really like the American Pie movies. I think those were fun films. Let me actually put on the soundtrack to help me go to sleep and reminisce about those films. What good times. And then what happens 2 days later? We get the announcement, a new American Pie movie in the works from Universal by Definition Please filmmaker Sujata Day.
This whole thing, all of this, it's all about me.
I manifested it, okay? You wanted to see some pies get I did that for you. Jokes aside though, I am a big fan of the American Pie movies. I saw those way too young, thanks Dad, and I even watched every single one of those straight to DVD American Pie movies because I just kind of love that world so much. But even with all that said, this new announcement, I'm so conflicted, and I have no idea if I'm excited for another American Pie movie. In the article, they don't make it clear if this is a reboot or a sequel to the already established American Pie movies, but I get the sense it is a reboot. Because they mentioned that this filmmaker came up with an original idea and is going to be a fresh new take on American Pie. That sounds like reboot to me. And so if we're rebooting, that means we're going to get a group of teenagers and what they're like in modern day, using social media, TikTok, stuff that they should obviously implement for the next generation. And I guess the grumpy old man side of me is coming out because I'm like, would I really want to see an American Pie movie with TikTok teenagers? Would it still be something that appealed to me? Like, I'm in my mid-20s. I'm not that far off from some of the teenagers. At least that's what I tell myself at night. But then I think about like the movie Bodies, where that was definitely talking about the current generation and how they were and how awful human beings, and yet I loved every second of that movie. If they could find a nice striding balance and to be able to play on today's generation while also pick up some of the tropes that made American Pie famous, something relatable like just being a teenager is awkward and you do awkward things in that phase. It could be nice for the new generation, but as a lifelong fan, I just don't know if you can replicate the charm and chemistry a lot of those cast members had from those original movies. Throwing it off to some of my American Pie fans out there, how do you feel about this? Could you see a reboot being done with new teenagers of today's modern age? Could that appeal to you? Or is this one of those times where it's like, good for them, don't think I'll check it out. Something I wasn't expecting to see an update on yesterday is we got our first look of the upcoming Disney Planet of the Apes trilogy. Now, we have talked about this for a long time. Heck, I've even mentioned the title, and now it's official. It is going to be called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, where on the official Twitter account where they released this first look, they confirm this will be a sequel trilogy to Matt Reeves' War for the Planet of the Apes. And when looking at the concept art for this movie, I think it looks beautiful, man. Just seeing an ape on a horse with the destruction of a city and green everywhere. We heard that this movie was going to take place several years after the last movie. I didn't know if that meant like 10 years, 5 years, or like 50 or 60 years. To me, with this photo, it looks like we're possibly following the son of Caesar from that last movie, and this trilogy might be about him earning that power that his father once had. Maybe there's different factions of apes that rule separate sections of Earth, and this is them just trying to unite them together, or at least become a ruler of one of them. Now, in the midst of this first look, we did also get informed that Freya Allen will be the lead female for this movie. No exact details were given on her character, but some have speculated that she could be playing the older version of Nova, that is the younger blonde girl that we saw in War of the Planet of the Apes, and is eventually supposed to be a vital character in the original Planet of the Apes movies that these films are technically prequels of. So look, Disney has some really big shoes to fill, because that last trilogy I think was amazing. It's one of those that I just like watching back to back, and I like the progression they make. They're such great movies, and here, man, I just need you to try and meet that quality. Sure, it might not exceed it, but at least try and stay on that level, please. What do you guys think about the first look for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? What are your theories on the plot and who this actress could be playing? Moving on here, we got kind of a bombshell rumor that dropped last night that is from a credible source, and heck, I wouldn't be surprised if this rumor leaked out and then Marvel was forced to drop some other big news that we'll talk about in a sec. Because Jeff Snyder, who we actually talked about on the previous side flick that informed us why the movie Blade lost their director, talking about the behind the scene frustrations with that movie and Kevin Feige not being able to be everywhere at once. He's a credible journalist that has been doing this for a long time, so when he reports something, I tend to believe it. But this is one of those things that I'm like, is this actually real? Could this be happening? Because he came out and reported that Marvel has denied what I'm about to tell you, and that's a matter of timing. Am I too early or am I too late? So the deal is multiple sources have indicated that Harrison Ford either is or was the studio's top choice to star in the Thunderbolts movie as General Ross himself, because William Hurt passed away. Essentially what he's reporting on here is that the upcoming Thunderbolts movie not only is going to feature the Red Hulk, but Harrison Ford is like the top choice Marvel wants to play General Ross. We know the actor passed away, and it looks like Kevin Feige still wanted to play out that story and had plans for him in the MCU, so they're willing to recast that role to continue on those plans. And I have a couple of thoughts on this. For one, I'm so happy Red Hulk is being included in there. I just hope by the time Red Hulk shows up, there is some sort of face-off with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk as a wild Hulk. I want to see some Hulk fights that bring on the action. But if Red Hulk turns out to be like the main villain for the Thunderbolts, that could be really cool also. As far as Harrison Ford being the top choice to play, whether he is or isn't in the role, I have a hard time believing Harrison Ford would say yes to that. The man is very picky on the roles he chooses, and he's not afraid to tell you whether he did it for the paycheck or whether he did it for the passion.
Did you get emotional when you put the wardrobe on?
No, I got paid.
Yeah.
And to me, the MCU just gives me those vibes of something he wouldn't want to be a part of. That's something he just doesn't like. There was even another report that came out that this was actually something that was supposed to be revealed at D23, but Lucasfilm with Kathleen Kennedy refused Marvel to do that because they wanted the focus of Harrison Ford to be on Indiana Jones 5. That makes it even more interesting to me, because I'm like, dang, I could see them actually doing that. Lucasfilm being like, look, Indiana Jones 5 is a very important movie. The last one sucked. We need to win back the fans. If you announce this guy's the Red Hulk, that's all they're going to be talking about, and they won't care about Indiana Jones 5. So I could totally see Kathleen Kennedy actually putting her foot down for that, and I wouldn't blame her. I love Indiana Jones. We need some spotlight there. It's an interesting situation, but just knowing the Red Hulk is soon to be showing up in the MCU, I'm excited. What do you guys think about this, and who do you think will be playing General Ross? Will it be Harrison Ford or someone else? Moving on to our next wild Marvel news story here. While everyone online was going crazy at the possibility of Harrison Ford playing the Red Hulk, some big official news dropped from actual top-tier credible sources, The Hollywood Reporter, letting us know that Armor Wars, the upcoming Disney Plus series that was announced all the way back in 2019, we have gotten such little reports to the point people thought this thing was canceled, is now being turned into a movie instead of a Disney Plus series. A lot of people speculated that Marvel dropped this news to distract everybody from the Red Hulk situation, and who knows, maybe. But apparently this was also something that was like immediately told to the writers and crew of Armor Wars, and then like minutes later it leaked out to the public, and then everyone was talking about it. Now, if you're someone who doesn't remember the announcement of Armor Wars, this was something that Kevin Feige described having Don Cheadle War Machine be the star of, based on Marvel Comics of a similar name, where Tony Stark technology gets stolen and then they have to go and retrieve and protect that. And that's the same story we thought they were going to tell in the Disney Plus series, but here in the Hollywood Reporter article, they kind of drop a little detail saying the live action series was seen as a way to showcase multiple types of armor, putting a different spin on the word Armor Wars. Now, tons of thoughts on this. For one, it is about dang time War Machine gets his own movie. Ever since I saw that badass scene in Iron Man 2 where War Machine is just taking down all these drones and oil is shooting on his face like it's blood, I remember being a kid in the theater thinking, oh my god, I'm a War Machine fan. That guy is freaking awesome. Can't wait to see what they do with him in the MCU. And I feel like he's just always been sidelined. He never got that big of a moment ever again. He's appeared in Avenger films and other team-up movies, but I never got something to the level of Iron Man 2 that I always wanted Rhodey to have again. And now here's our chance for that. And this is going to be a theatrical movie. It's not something that'll go to Disney Plus. So it is going to go to theaters, and that's, I think, kind of a big deal. Marvel's getting picky and choosy on who gets a Disney Plus series and who gets their own movie. To me, this looks like a step forward to sort of make War Machine the new Iron Man. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying War Machine is going to take up the mantle of Iron Man, call himself Iron Man, and start wearing a red and gold suit. No, I think he will remain as War Machine, or at least I hope he keeps that name. He'll still have his black and silver outfit, but for all intents and purposes, he will fill in the role of Iron Man for the time being, the same way Sam Wilson is now our Captain America. The other thing I was seeing debated amongst fans is, one, people were saying, oh, if they're turning it into a movie, that means they have such good material, they didn't want to turn it into a show. But then there was other people saying the opposite of that, going, oof, looks like they didn't have enough material to make it a show and have at least 6 or 9 episodes, whatever they decide to do. But let me tell you, I'd much rather have an okay MCU movie than an okay Disney Plus series, because so far an okay Disney Plus series, it's just not that exciting. It's not that fun. It's not that memorable. Still, though, I'm hoping they shoot for better than okay with this movie. The other thing we got to talk about is who else is going to be showing up in this movie, because we already have the people talking about, oh, they're going to bring in Robert Downey Jr. back to be AI Iron Man from the comics. Slow your horses. I don't think that's happening. When RDJ comes back, whether it be AI form or Iron Man form, it's going to be big, and it's not just going to be so he can be Siri to War Machine. The characters I think have a real possibility of showing up here, knowing that this is going to be a battle of different armors, is one, the character of Ironheart. There could be something really special there with War Machine taking Ironheart under his wing, teaching her the ropes, and heck, Ironheart is supposed to be like extremely smart, like Tony Stark level smart. She could be the one building the suits while Rhodey passes on superhero wisdom and just how to be a good person. I also definitely think they need to bring in Vision. That is a type of armor that is out and loose out there. We don't know what White Vision has been doing. Also, Justin Hammer, I think, would be a great addition, whether he got out of prison, he escaped, or maybe he's hiring other goons from prison. Either way, I would love me some Justin Hammer back. The MCU has changed a lot since the Iron Man movies. Technology is so readily available, especially in the Black Panther movies. They have made vibranium and their technology open to the world. I think this movie could be about a lot of different people trying to make their own Iron Man suits and him trying to contain those situations. Either way, I've talked enough about this. It's just exciting. It's something I'm looking forward to. I hope they nail it. And heck, if this goes great, I hope they kind of cut the number of Disney Plus series and more of these become movies. What do you guys think about this? What could you see the future for Armor Wars? Any thoughts and theories? Would love to hear it from you guys. But that is all movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.